world just keeps expanding after every quest we do. Completed 2001 and 2002. 22 full years of questing became death enough for me. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman questing through 2003. Welcome back to January 1st, 2003. We've got a New Year's resolution for this year. Now that the agility skill exists, we can have the classic get fit New Year's resolution. But unlike many, we are actually going to follow through with that idea. And that is not enough experience. Very close to 2 XP. Wow. So cross this log here for 33 agility. That is our Doing log bounce shortcut. Don't think that one exists either. There's very, very few agility shortcuts in RuneScape Classic. But the levels themselves are important for later. And important for us in current year because of run energy regeneration being a bit better. So overall, this is very worth it. So we're going to do a significant amount of agility. Still here at the Gnome course, because there's only 2 courses in existence, and we don't have the level yet for the next one. So, still here. Still here. 34 agility as a crammed dungeon pipe shortcut. The dungeon doesn't exist, so the shortcut doesn't exist. Brilliant. And here is 35 agility. That is a quest requirement, the Barbarian Outpost Agility course, which does exist. We'll be heading over that way next. The possibility of catching 2 tuna at once with 35 fishing. Possible quadruple loot from female ham with 45 thieving. And possibility of triple loot from warriors with 45 thieving. We only have 43 thieving, so now our agility has caught up to the bonus thieving business. And also increased catch chance for butterflies again. Fascinating. Since we are already up on this, we're going to finish one more lap here. And then we will be done with the Gnome Agility course. So that's good. Get our lap bonus before we head out. We now need to go to the Barbarian Outpost, which is just a little bit northeast of Ardoin. So we're going to go over there and not somewhere else entirely. Don't worry about it. And here we are. Since we've done the bar crawl, we can come inside here to the Barbarian Outpost and squeeze through this obstacle pipe to get into the course proper. This is a bit more high energy since it's the high level course here, level 35. Swing across a rope swing over a spike pit. Very good stuff. Walk across a log over water. Climb up a net. Shimmy above another spike pit. Go back down and jump over some crumbling walls. I guess more a climb than a jump, but still. That is an achievement. And it's also experience. Originally, this course was 150 experience. And we'll talk about that in a bit. It was roughly the same when it was transferred over. A few of the obstacles changed a little bit when switching to RuneScape 2. But then much later, in 2016, the XP was slightly increased. So instead of like 150, it's now 174 for a lap. So a little bit better. Made it slightly more competitive with other agility training methods of the time. So that's fine. Just another, the XP rates have changed slightly kind of deals. But we're not going to just stick at the gnome course. The gnome course XP also is slightly different anyway, so ultimately it doesn't make a huge difference. We're still stuck here at the best agility training location. So this is what we're going to be doing. And as we saw earlier, there is failure states for this agility course, which is very spooky. And get a little bit of damage. Nothing super concerning though. It's possible to fail the rope swing here and fall into the giant spike pit. And then you just need to climb back out of the spike pit. You can fall in the water, which is fantastic. I think if we fail, you need to actually go back around, probably, in order to get the lap bonus. Can fail the spikes here. You need to go back up and around again. And then the crumbling walls you just go for. Just works. So, overall, this is agility. Wow. Hopefully we can regen enough that we don't need to go get more food or anything. But if we do, we're going to just run on over to the fishing guild. Just to the northwest. Yeah? Agility. And more agility. 36 agility. That is 2 more quest requirements. The water obelisk grapple shortcut. And double loot from cave goblins with 46 thieving. Been slipping off this log a lot, which I guess is fair. We just unlocked the course, so this is the lowest success chance we're ever gonna have. Yep, there we go again. It's doing less damage each time, so I don't know how low I'm gonna let my health go. Dying to agility would be pretty ridiculous. So, here we go. Eventually, oh, we fell in here too. That did 50 damage. Ouch. I need to run around here, climb back up again. Yeah. It's a problem. Eventually we will stop failing so much, and maybe regen will actually be able to deal with it. But natural regen is really, really slow, so probably not. Either way, we can always just go get more food. And even with all the failures and having to get food, it's still a lot better than the gnome course, at least. So, that's good. 37 agility. That is the gnome stronghold shortcut. Don't think that one exists either. Shortcuts. I should probably get up a list of the shortcuts that actually exist. At this point, it's basically the Yanil agility dungeon is realistically all that's really existing at a higher level. And my goodness, is it at a higher level? It's like 67 to get to the end of that. So that is a lot of hanging out at the barbarian agility arena here. Also, we can fall down here. Doesn't do a huge amount of damage, so. Still not letting my health drop super low. Just, it does less damage the less health you have, so. Finding a good middle ground here. And constantly falling off things. Yeah. 38 agility. That is the Acrid Mining Pit Cliffside shortcut. And potential double loot from farmers. Master farmers even. With 48 thieving. We're going to have agility and thieving before we thieve a lot of things. So we will get these potential for extra loots. It's not every time or anything, so it's not the hugest deal. And we can't just not train one of the two. I guess we would have to not train agility. And that's not a good strategy. Or even an option, really. So we're just going to not worry about that. And keep training agility. 39 agility. That is part of the Yanil wall shortcut. Not the handholds that phase you through the wall, not under the wall. This is the grapple over the other wall. Lots of ways to circumvent walls out here. I should probably do something about that. Oh well. 40 agility. Achievement. Milestone. All that. And 2 more quest requirements. A mini quest requirement. The Agility Arena high level obstacles. Rope climb southeast of the Agility Pyramid. Possible quadruple loot from Mailham members with 50 thieving. Possible double loot from guards with 50 thieving. And the Base Camp Spa Tier 1. Amazing. 41 agility. There's Trollheim Easy Cliffside Shortcut. 42 agility. That is a quest requirement. Dwarven Mine Narrow Crevice Shortcut. And a guarantee for multiple Cobalt Skill Champas with 27 Hunter. Skill Champas are an interesting situation. We will get to that much later. 43 agility. The Trollheim Medium Cliffside Scramble shortcut. Fun times. Good stuff. 44 agility. That is Trollheim Advanced Cliffside shortcut. We got a lot of shortcuts over there. My goodness. 45 agility. And that is another quest requirement. The Isifdar Log Balance shortcut. Which is interesting, that's level 45. For reasons that are way in the future. Leaping Sturgeon. With 70 fishing and 45 strength. We've got all of those, so there you go. Possibility of quadruple loot from warriors with 55 thieving, double loot from Fremnik with 55 thieving, double loot from bearded Pompian bandits with 55 thieving, and another increase to butterfly catching. Wild. I don't know much about this whole better catching butterflies. That's more of a more of a hunter activity. I guess that was similar to the bonus thieving stuff as an integration later. Neat. Neat. 46 agility. As a quest requirement, Cosmic Temple medium walkway shortcut, and possible triple loot from cave goblins with 56 thieving. 47 agility. That is Trollheim hard cliffside shortcut. Is that the last one? Probably. 48 agility. That is a quest requirement. Apatol agility course doesn't exist yet. Log balance to the Fremnik province, and possible triple loot from master farmers. There's only a few things that are actually unlocked with agility right now. That's okay. We're getting the run restore still, so that's something. 49 agility. That is the Yanil Dungeon Contortion shortcut. So, the Yanil Agility Dungeon actually does exist. Still, can't really get into large swaths of the dungeon there. Up to level 67. That's one bit, though. And there is 50 agility. Achievement, milestone, all very good stuff. 4 quest requirements. Possibility of catching 2 swordfish with 50 fishing. Triple loot from guards with 60 thieving. Crystal equipment, grout worm lair shortcut. Crystal bows, chakbrums, halberds, daggers, staffs, wands, orbs. Shields, deflectors with roving elves. And attuned crystal bows, chakrams, halberds, daggers, staff, wand, orb. Ward, shield, and deflector with Plague's End, Shifting Tombs with Jack of Spades, and Anachronia Novice Island Travel. Crystal equipment might end up being pretty good in the future. Depends what levels we get to. But that is enough agility for right now. Let's go actually do something. That's much better. We got lobsters here in the fishing guild. Gonna heal back up quite a bit here. That's much better. The natural health regen is not super fantastic by any means. Anyways, we are going to be collecting things for the next thing we're going to be doing. But first, we've got a few other small updates to get through. So I'm going to try running around getting things while also going through the updates here. Could be interesting. But first, here's a rope. That is very useful. That should be pretty much what we need there. Get these right up here. Yeah, rope is what we need from this shop. Ideally, it would be from a different place, but not here yet, or anymore, or something. I've got an entire list here. It's going to be a whole thing. All right. So here we are in our Doin. Let's get moving. Need to also get something we shouldn't need to get, unfortunately. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. And the first thing at a time, the first quote-unquote update of 2003, on January 11th, 2003, there was an update for the website. Less cluttered, more space, just all kinds of good times. Continuing to make the experience of just getting onto the main page better for everyone. Really works out. On January 21st, 2003, are some more updates to the website. New categories on the main page for game updates. Stuff like technical updates, regular game updates, website stuff, support. Just generally making it easier to see exactly what you're looking for on the main page there. Overall, pretty reasonable idea. Also don't think this is the best route to get to everything I need, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Once again, going around the walls would technically been faster because it was around here and we just have to go around here instead of all the way around the Grand Exchange wall there, but we'll get there. We're getting there. We're doing fine. I think we're going to have to go pick up some more runes for teleporting to different locations, make this easier on ourselves. Because we need to... I guess we're coming back this way, really. Well, let's just get all the elemental runes. We can deal with it as we deal with it. We're also going to be picking up a bunch of stuff from shops later, so technically we don't need all these lobsters. I mean, obviously, having lobsters for boss fights is going to be nice. Just running past enemies and all that. Pros and cons here. We'll drop a few more. And get some runes. We'll go with a couple air runes. Get some more water runes. Water runes are just generally a nice time. Get some fire, some earth. That should about do us. Yeah, we've got 129 law runes left, so we can get away with it. We can get away with this. Let's go over to Lumbridge. Also, on the same day here, there was a news post about credit card fraud warnings. People were trying to trade you to account share members' accounts, or they'll pay for your membership. Most of the time, these are going to be scams of some sort. Either recovering the account or trying to get you to pay for it instead. Just generally having access to your account details in one way or another. And this all counts as a scam. And everyone involved will be banned. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Reasonable words to live by. Take a bronze pickaxe. That's what we're here for. So yeah, don't try to have anyone else pay for your account. It's not likely going to go well either way, and it is against the rules. So, here we are. Another lobster. We can always go and get more lobsters. That'll be fine. We'll get a hammer. We can pick up some of the other things in a different shop. And it'll be easier once we get there because we'll have everything we actually need. I think it'll probably just be just as quick to run to the mine from here. Anyway. See if we can time the transition between map screens here again. Saves me a little bit of effort. Always a good time. I mean, I will decide that we are transitioning even if we're not quite there. So, either way. So, here we go. On January 23rd, 2003, got a news post congratulating a Jagex moderator for proposing. They were going to get married in, it was 2005 or something. So, a little bit off, but still. A nice congratulations for everyone involved in that. Still early days here, for sure. Do we need the... There's a furnace in there. I don't think we need these runes, really. Do we need to teleport back to Varrock? Probably not. I mean, gets me the bronze bar. And that's what we need. Oh, this is mithril. That's not right. I need tin. There we go. Okay. And then we don't need the pickaxe. Technically. Gonna be, you know, there's a lot of things to consider here. Juggling the inventory. Classic Ultimate Ironman shenanigans out here. Sigh. I think we just go from, or do I have to be fine? Yeah. I think everything else we can get on our way. Still need this though. So. I mean, we can just hold the runes until such time as we actually need to drop them. If we're making more decisions here. Let's get back over to Ardoin. I guess technically we could go up to the tree, but as we've seen, that's pretty much all around the area here, so not exactly ideal. And over to the furnace that is here in Ardoin. No anvil here, though. We're going to pick one of those up along the way. It's definitely a whole situation out here. Into the furnace, where it's going to automatically suggest that we have our brink pin and that we should really be smelting a rune at this point. Can't. Not even close. Bronze bar. Well, there you go. We should deposit in the metal bank. Not going to do that either. You can't make me. Not going to happen. It is going to be nice, though. It really will be. There are so many opportunities in the future. We just need to get there first. Just need to get there first. And that's what we're doing. Continuing on. Making progress. All good stuff. And speaking of making progress, if we head on over to Karamja on January 24th, 2003, we got a next quest announced. A follow-up to Jungle Potion with a dark theme. So, really ties into where we're going right now, Karamja. And lots more in Karamja. Also, with the whole fancy new website, the newsletter is now going to be on the website and not emails anymore. So, that's fine. Here we are at the final shop we need to be at. I guess we could save a space. We just go down this way first. We've got this bronze bar, and we need it to be a thing, actually. So, smith, bronze, go down all the way to miscellaneous, and make a bronze wire. Alright. That's very, very quick to make that. Bronze wire. Get. Fantastic. And now back to the general store here, where we need a lot of different things here. I'm just going to drop these runes here and trade Jiminua. We need a candle or a torch. Either works. Based on the dialogue in the updated version, we might actually just need the actual torch here. It's a possibility. So we're just going to grab the torch. It would work the same as the candle either way. We need a tinderbox. We need a spade. And we need a chisel. And that should basically be it. All sorts of stuff in here. 6, 5, 6. Torch, tinderbox, rope, spade, wire, chisel. 6 things. And then we will light the torch. That's always helpful. And keep the tinderbox in case that gets blown out some way. But now, we can actually continue on here. First, we'll move through all the part of Karamja that already exists. Basically just this section over here with Taibowana Village. Head off to the corners of the world where all the herbs for Jungle Potion were. And then also the shipyard is over there. Technically we could also have gotten here with the glider, but that goes to a different location. So, this is fine. Pretty much, once we get south of this lake here, it is new places. Ah, tribesmen. Alright. On January 27th, 2003, we got a new quest. First of 2003, Shiloh Village. Requires Jungle Potion, 32 Agility, and 20 Crafting. Required items, bronze wire, spade, rope, chisel, and torch. So it's specifically saying torch, even though a candle worked originally. And we can get these things from the general store. Also need a tinderbox for us, since we're not using the tool belt yet. This is one instance where the tool belt actually doesn't work for the chisel portion, so that's interesting. It's not the most comprehensive system in total. But here we are. New area. Over here we've got an island with a bridge and some rocks to climb up. That's agility. We'll get there. And then south of here, we've got a boat. Not super useful, and we can't use it yet. And then the edge of the world right here to the south. And to the north, Shiloh Village itself. We want to go in there. Seems like a great time. Unfortunately, they are having some problems. We've got undead ones here. We can talk to Muscle Rai here. Hey there. Muscle seems to be looking around very cautiously. He jumps a little when you approach and talk to him. Run! Run for your life! Save yourself! I'll keep them back as long as I can. What? Why do I need to run? Your very life is in danger. Rashilia has returned, and we are all doomed. Rashilia? Who is she? Rashilia is the queen of the dead. She has returned and has brought a plague of undead with her. They now occupy our village, and we have them trapped. I warn people like yourself to stay away. What can we do? This all sounds like a thing we could fix. We're doing all we can to keep the undead at bay. The village is covered in a deadly green mist. If you go into the village, a terrible sickness will befall you. And the undead are even stronger beyond the gates. My guess is that it has something to do with the legend of Rashilia. But you would need to talk to the shaman in Taibowana Village to get more details about that. I really have to go now and fight these undead. Can I help in any way? I don't think so, Buana, but you may want to consult with Trufitus, the shaman in Taibowana Village. He may have some information which could help. I'll go see the shaman. Well, that would be helpful, Buana. If you're sure you want to go, you can take a wampum belt to him for me. It'll give the shaman, Trufitus, the story of our problems down here. Are you sure you want to go? Accept the quest. Yes, I'm sure, and I'll take the wampum belt to Trufitus. I'd be very grateful if you did. Here, take this. Sol gives you a wampum belt. Please, can you give it to Trufitus? He may be able to give you extra details on the legends surrounding Rashilia. Good luck. Start of Shiloh Village has been marked on our map. I mean, We already started it. Don't need all the extra bits there. This is an interesting situation where the quest doesn't check to see if you have an inventory space for the thing, just drops it on the ground there. Decorated belt used to trade information between distant villages. Neat. Well, let's pick that up. That's going to be important to have that. So, the Queen of the Dead has returned, and the village is covered in deadly mist, and undead are trapped. Sounds like a mess. Sounds like a mess. Do we feel like we can deal with the Queen of the Dead? Probably. It's probably gonna be great. What's the worst that could happen? Always a good thing to say. So, we need to go back to Taibowanai village and talk to Trufitus. Give him this belt and see what we can do. A legend about the Queen of the Dead. More information will be helpful. So let's get over in here. Talk to Trufitus right here. Hey. My greatest respects, Swana. I've communed with my gods, and the future looks good for my people. Hate to be the bringer of bad news. We are happy now that the gods are not angry with us. With some blessings, we will be safe here. You should deliver the good news to Wana Timfraku, chief of Taibowanai. He lives in a raised hut not far from here. I mean, we could do that, but I need your help right now. Or not. Well, I guess we need to go talk to this guy over here. Not sure if this guy even exists at this point. I feel like this is more of a connection to later quests, but hey, Timfraku, how you doing? I'm the chief of Taibowanai village. Who dares set foot in my hut? No. To be fair, we do barge in on royalty constantly, so this is just par for the course for us. I am a roving adventurer. Well then, adventurer, you would do better to rove elsewhere. Trufitus sent me. Trufitus Shakaya, what news does he send? Trufitus has communed with the gods, your village was never cursed, and your people are free to return. Wana, do you speak the truth? Yes, I helped Trufitus gather ingredients for a commune potion. Then it must be true. He appears to concentrate very deeply. I cannot thank you enough for what you have done so far. Alright. Your gratitude is all I deserve. No, Bwana, you deserve much more. I now ask you to do one last thing for our village. And what is that? A completely different quest is what that is. Hopefully that was enough talking to him to get Trufitus to actually listen to us. Do we splice this into the Taibowanai Trio episode? Possibly. Are you still? I'm talking to us. What if I use the wampum belt? Show Trufitus the wampum belt. He studies it for a long time. Hello, Bwana. This message from Musalrai bears bad news. Yes, things do look very bad indeed. Depending on what we do here, he's either like, yeah, everything's great, or nope, everything's doomed. Wild swings in the situation out here. My goodness. What do you know about Rashilia? It's been a long time since I heard that name. Rashilia is the queen of the undead, and a more fearsome enemy you will be unlikely to find. I fear that you bring me news that she has returned to plague us once again. Alas, I know of no weakness that she has. So, is there nothing we can do? Not that I can think of. Should I start to evacuate the island? Yes, that may be a good idea. many people could die. If only there was a way to defeat her. Also, Rise said something about a legend? Ah, yes, there is a legend, but it is lost in the midst of antiquity. The last place to hold any details regarding this mystery was the Temple of Azarun. That has long since vanished. It crumbled into dust. Why was it called Azarun? It's from an ancient language. The direct translation is magnificence floating on water. But my research makes me believe that the temple was built on land. Odd name then. And most likely between large bodies of water. For example, large lakes. However, many people have searched for the temple and have failed. I would hate to see you waste your time on a pointless search like that. I'm gonna search for Azarun. Sounds like a great time. What? You must be crazy. That place has passed into myth and legend. It's been buried under rubble for years. It's most likely buried 20 men deep. And that's if you can actually find it. Are you sure you're going to go and look for it? I may be able to do some research into this if you agree. Only, I don't want to waste my time if you're not serious about this. Yes, I will seriously look for Azarun, and I'd appreciate your help. Okay then, Buana. Good luck with your quest, and remember to stock up well with adventuring supplies before setting off. You never know how useful some fairly ordinary things might be when you're adventuring. I'll hold on to this wampum belt for you for the time being. I'll give it back to you when you have completed this quest. Alright. So we're searching for Azarun. Magnificence floating on water between two lakes. Now, we didn't see any between two lakes business down to the southwest, really. So we're going to go for some different lakes. Over to the east. Back over. New areas here. Let's see if we can pop this correctly. Into another new section of Kramja. Shiloh Village, Tabawana Village, and then we just have jungly bits over here. Where we get to use our agility for quite a bit of stuff. Like this wooden log. Ah! Well, that went poorly. Ow. Well, we're over here, though. The glider would have been over on the other side. And also, the other gliders down this way, too. Where it should have also been the same other place over there. And that's why we didn't come via glider. Because the glider was moved. And that's okay. So, here is what remains of the two lakes. Doesn't make as much sense in current year. Once the map was updated. Because now we have, like, a river and a lake. And as we can see on the miniature map over here, used to actually be two lakes here, and this jutting peninsula right between them. So, a little bit more obvious where Azarun might be. And look at this mound of earth. Looks as if something is buried here. We'll use our spade. We start digging. You dig a small hole and almost immediately hit granite. You excavate the hole a bit more. See, there's a small fissure. You might just be able to crawl through it. Look at the fissure. See a small fissure in the granite that you might just be able to crawl through. Beyond the fissure is a long fall. So we will tie a rope here. Too dark to see where to fix it. Originally you could just jump down in here, take a bunch of damage. But instead, we're going to use the lit torch. And it constantly switching between the open and closed state, even when you've already done it. So it's not like a personal situation here, which is an odd design here still. As much as the graphics have been updated recently, the content of Kramja is still quite old in general. So we're going to drop a torch down in here. Drop the torch into the fissure. See that there is quite a large drop after you get through the hole. There's a good anchor point nearby onto which you could tie a rope. And then the torch burns out. And we drop it entirely. Of course, because of course we do. Tie the rope. See where to attach the rope very clearly. You secure the rope well. I guess we remembered where it was, even though the torch burned out. That's alright. And now, we got a rope attached. Would you like to climb down? Yes, I'll give it a go. You contort your body. With some difficulty, you manage to push yourself through the small crack in the rock. You cleverly use the rope to slowly lower yourself to the floor. That was, in fact, the entire point of bringing a rope with us. So, yeah. And in here, we've got undead ones attacking us. Very rude. And as much as it doesn't look like it, there's actually water here. Just a very, very small amount of it. Let me start looking around at stuff. Like this strange looking stone, which doesn't look that strange, it looks pretty much the same as all the other stones. Minute details that aren't actually visible, I suppose. Some strange markings on it. If we investigate, the stone seems to have strange markings on it. Maybe Trufitus can decipher them. The stone is too heavy to carry, but the letters stand proud on a plaque. Maybe you could separate the plaque from the rock. With our chisel, I guess. Because we didn't need to bring an extra pickaxe. Cleanly cut the plaque of letters away from the rock. Place it carefully into your inventory. Delightful. The markings are very intricate. It's a very strange language. The meaning of it evades you, though. Perhaps Trufitus can decipher the markings. No, not much we can do with that. Yeah, the tiny amount of river here is much more noticeable on the actual map. That's okay. Next up, we got a cave in over here. You see that there is a narrow gap into the darkness. Would you try to wiggle through and see where it takes you? Once we kill this undead one, he stops bothering us. Yes, I'll wiggle through. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now we're to more ruins. All sorts of shenanigans. Still getting attacked by undead ones this entire time here. Definitely a bigger ask in RuneScape Classic, with the having to wait 3 turns in each instance of combat. Definitely a slower time getting through undead infested locales like this. They're only level 46, 44, so that's not the worst. Looking around for anything we can look at. Thick green mist rises from the ground and starts to choke us. That's not great. We look inside the sack, find a tattered but very ornate scroll, which you place carefully into your inventory. The crumpled scroll. This looks like a scroll about Rashilia. Would you like to read it? Yep. Rashilia's rage went unchecked. She killed without mercy for revenge of her son's life. Like a specter, through the night, she entered houses and one by one quietly strangled life from the occupants. It is said that only a handful survived, protected by necklace wards to keep the witch queen at bay. Sounds like a fun time. So, Queen of the Undead, running around strangling people. My goodness. It's a situation out here. It's a situation. That's for sure. And then up the top of here, we have an ancient gallows. We can safe spot the undead ones behind it. Brilliant. Take a look at the gallows. It's pretty eerie looking. A grisly sight meets your eyes. A human corpse hangs from the noose. His hands have been tied behind his back. My goodness. We search the gallows, find a human corpse hanging in the noose. Looks as if the corpse can be removed easily. Would you like to remove the corpse? Yes. I may find something else on the corpse. Gently support the frame of the skeleton. Lift the skull through the noose. Find an old sack. Place the skeleton in it. Maybe Triphis can give you some tips on what to do with it. You sense that there is a spirit that needs to be put to rest. Fascinating. So lots of concerning things down here in Azarun. And there should be some more things in here. We've got a few things. Azarun. Let's keep moving. Rocks and rocks. Got the tattered scroll. Scroll from here. There should be some more rocks that look the same as everything else. Most likely. These all looked slightly different when there was less detail. RuneScape Classic and all that. Here is some loose rocks. You can see that there's something hidden behind some rocks. Do you want to have a look? Looks a bit dangerous, as the ceiling doesn't look at all safe. Yes, I'll carefully move the rocks to see what's behind them. Start to slowly move the rocks to one side. Carefully manage to remove enough rocks to see a bookshelf. Gingerly remove a delicate scroll from the shelf and place it in your inventory. Alright. Looks like part of a scroll about someone called Berverius. Would you like to read it? Yeah. Berverius, son of King Danthalus, was killed in battle. His devout mother, Rishilia, was so heartbroken that she swore fealty to Zamorak if he would return her son to her. Berverius returned as an undead creature and terrorized the king and queen. Many guards died fighting the undead Berverius. Eventually, the undead Berverius was set on fire, and soon only the bones remained. His remains were taken far to the south, and then towards the setting sun to a tomb that's surrounded by and level with the sea. This is the only known way to contain the spirits of witches and the undead. So we get some more information about Rishilia. She was just regular queen. Then her son died. She swore fealty to Zamorak to bring him back. He came back as an undead. They had to kill him again. And she went pretty mad at the whole situation. We wiggle back through the rubble here. And now for a fantastic part. We got a smashed table here. Be able to turn this dilapidated table into something that could help you get out of this place. I'd like to make a crude raft. The river is too shallow to support a raft. We praise the table's seaworthiness. Your experience in construction tells you that there isn't enough wood to complete this task. Make a raft. The river's too shallow. Are we getting construction experience for this? Weird. A ladder? We start stacking away at the table and realize you don't have enough wood to probably finish the item off. Oops, not enough wood left to do anything else with the table. I guess they got rid of it. Originally, I don't know about that. You could make the raft go down the river, but now it's too shallow, I guess. Weird. Anyways, I guess we need to get out of here a different way then. We fell down over there, so we can't do that. So instead, we're just going to need to run all the way through here. Running through the tunnel in the incredibly shallow river. Wild stuff. And over here, next to the waterfall, there's a huge cascading waterfall in front of you. The roar of the water is quite loud. To the east, you can see what looks like a treacherous pathway. It might lead outside. Yep, follow the path. Carefully slide on the slippery path, climb your way out of the cavern, into the heat of the jungle. Oh, now we're over here. Brilliant. Here is another agility obstacle we could take if we wanted to. But that is not really the direction we want to go. So instead, we're going to run back on over to Trufidus. Over here we've got some vines that don't exist. There's the entrance to Azaroon right there. Fantastic. There's the shipyard in its new location. Wild stuff. Wild stuff out here. In general, we just kind of use the agility shortcuts to get to the different sections of the island here. And that gets us where we need to be. We completely ignore the glowing rift. That's not here yet. And make our way back to Tabowana. We also could technically try to avoid the Wandering Warriors, because they are capable of poisoning us with their spears. Not that the poison does a lot of damage, but still. In general, you kind of want to avoid getting poisoned. It's not a good time. It's not a good time. Not a good time at all. That's okay. And back in here. Was curious about the raft business, and it totally existed just a little bit ago. So that might have just been removed in the graphical rework business here. To be fair, the rafting down the river looked incredibly janky, and it looks even shallower than it did before. So, unfortunate. Unfortunate. Literally, instead of actually moving down the river, it just teleports you forward like 5 squares at a time. It looked ridiculous. That's okay. So, back to actually making progress here with Trufidus. Greetings. Greetings, Buana. You have been away. The situation with Rashilia is worsening. I pray that you have some good news for me. I think I found the temple of Azaroon. Well, that sounds great, Buana. Tell me, what did you find? I found a lot of things. I need help with Bervirius. Bervirius is the son of Rashilia. His tomb may hold some clues as to how Rashilia may be defeated. And I have some items I need help with. Well, just let me see the item, and I'll help as much as I can. We need to identify that the place you found really is Azaroon. Any scrolls or information about Rashilia's kin would be helpful. Have you got any items covering Rashilia? If so, please show them to me. Must be something related to Zadimus at the temple. Did you find anything? If so, let me see. And best of luck. Right, we're going to give him all of our scrolls. And the crumpled scroll to Trufidus. Have a look at this. Tell me what you think. I'm speechless, Buana. This is truly ancient. Where did you find it? In an underground building of some sort. You must have truly found the temple of Azaroon. The scroll gives us some interesting details about Rashilia. Some things I didn't know before. Trufidus gives back the scroll. Anything that can help? Well, just the part about the wards. Trufidus seems to drift off in thought. It may be possible to make a ward like that, but what is the best thing to make it from? Perhaps something close to Bervirius. An item of some significance to him? Perhaps. We got another scroll. And the giant scroll to Trufidus. What do you make of this? Truly amazing, Buana. This scroll must be ancient. I'm not sure if I get more meaning from it than you, though. Perhaps Bervirius' tomb is still accessible? Would be good. Stone plaque. Can you decipher this? This is an ancient artifact. Trufidus looks at the item in awe. I can certainly try. Incredible. It seems very ancient and mentions something about Zadimus and Azaroon. It says, here lies the traitor Zadimus, Let his spirit be forever tormented. My goodness. Found anything else you need help with, just let me know. We also have Zadimus's corpse. Ta-da! What do you make of this? That's incredible. Where did you find it? I found the corpse in a decomposing gallows. I get a very strange feeling every time I try to bury the body. That sounds very strange. I sense a spirit in torment. You should try to bury the remains. Any sacred ground around here? The ground in the center of the village is very sacred to us. Maybe you could try there. Alright. Next to the tribal statue. Sacred location. Bury this corpse. Then unearth the compulsion to bury the corpse. Dig a hole for the remains and lay the remains of Zadimus to rest. You hear an unearthly moaning sound as you see an apparition materialize right in front of you. You have released me from my torture, and now I shall aid you. You seek to dispel the one who tortured and killed me. Remember this, I am the key, but only kin may approach her. The apparition disappears into the ground where you buried the corpse. See the ground in front of you shake as a shard of bone forces its way to the surface. Take the bone shard and place it in your inventory. When a ghost gives you a bone shard, you take it. Always a good shot. What do you think about this bone shard? Have a look at this. Let's look at the object for a moment. It looks like a simple shard of bone. Why do you think it is significant? It appeared when I buried Zadimus' corpse, for one thing. Ah, interesting. So you think that Zadimus gave you the bone? What makes you say that? Because he told me so. He said something after he gave it to me. What'd he say? Something about keys and kin? Maybe it's a clue of some kind. Rashilia's only kin was her son, Bravirius. His remains were entombed on a small island which lies to the southwest. I will do some research into this to see if I can find any other details. But I think we must take Zadimus' clue literally and get some item that belonged to Bravirius. This may be the only way to approach Rashilia. Perhaps something like this exists in his tomb. A reasonable idea. So let's head over towards the tomb. Southwest, on an island, near the water. That definitely does narrow down the location here. Realistically, all these places are not difficult to find, but that can mostly be attributed to scale theory. Instead of the island being only this far across, it's like multiple days of trekking through the jungle, essentially. So, that does make things make more sense. Also, it's much easier for us to move around since we can run at this point. So in order to get to that island, we need to climb some rocks. Get our agility going nicely for us. Climb up here. And then cross this bridge. You managed to keep your balance on the bridge. Very good. And that is an achievement. Getting over here. Got some well-stacked rocks down by the water line. And then stacked uniformly. And we can search the rocks. You investigate the rocks and find a dank, narrow crawlway. You want to crawl into this dank, dark, narrow, possibly dangerous hole? Yes, please. I can think of nothing nicer. You can torch your body and prepare to squirm, worm-like, into the hole. Stroll through the narrow crevice in the rocks. And drop to your feet into a narrow underground corridor. We got all sorts of undergrounds out here. Ancient pasts, buried for all time. Got some lobsters. Got a tomb dolem here. The dolem is intricately decorated with the symbol of 2 crossed palm trees. Might be the family crest. See, there are some items on the dolmen. And we'll search it. You find a rusty sword with an ivory pommel. Take the ivory pommel and place it in your inventory. Find a crystal sphere. Take the crystal and place it in your inventory carefully. Find some writing on the dolmen. Grab some nearby scraps of delicate paper together and copy the text as best you can and collect them together as a scroll. And once again, we aren't checking inventory, so it goes on the ground. So we got a sword pommel, a locating crystal, and some notes. Scroll is a collection of writings. Some of them are just scraps of papyrus with what looks like random scribblings. What would you like to read? I'll read the tattered yellow papyrus. And rest like your mother, who is silent in the peace of her tomb, far to the north of Azarun, near the sea and under the hills deep in the underground, to watch all of nature from the darkness of her final resting place. So that is Rashilia, her tomb north of Azarun, near the sea, under a hill. Good scraps of information here. Decaying white papyrus. Rashilia did so love objects of beauty. Her tomb was adorned with crystals that glowed brightly when near to each other. That explains the locating crystal. It will glow brightly when nearby to the tomb, which we already know is north of Azarun. Fantastic. And the crusty orange papyrus. The sphere is activated when power of a spiritual nature is expended upon it. This can be very draining on the body. Explaining how to use the locating crystal. It hurts you in order to use it. So, maybe avoid that, perhaps. But that is the information we needed there. Managed to cross the bridge again. You can fall off of that. It's a bad time. Climb back down the rocks. Also successfully. Fantastic. Now let's see if we can get any more information from Trufitis. We got a general idea of what's going on. See if he has any more insights on all these cool things we're finding. We definitely are finding a lot of things out here. It's pretty great. All things considered. We're really adventuring here. Really getting stuff done. Good stuff. Good stuff. Got a sword pommel. Trufitis. It's a very nice item, Buana. Maybe just what you need to gain access to Rashilia's tomb. While you were away, I did some research. Very good. Rashilia would spare the lives of those who wore bronze necklaces. This pommel may have some significance to Brevirius. Perhaps you can craft something from it that can help. My guess is that you will need some protection from Rashilia if you intend to enter her tomb. I would bet on that. She does not seem like one to be trifled with. My goodness. And how do I make a bronze necklace? Well, Buana, I would guess that you would need to get some bronze metal and work it into something that could be turned into a necklace. Thanks. And what should I put on the necklace? Perhaps Zanimus's clue had the answer? Now, what was it that he said again? Something about kin and keys? That sword pommel belonged to Brevirius, didn't it? That's enough clues for us to work with. We need to use the sword pommel. Not quite sure. Bronze wire. Sword pommel. Not quite sure what to do with that. I'm fairly sure. We need to make necklace. For the ivory pommel and the chisel to start crafting. You successfully craft some of the ivory into beads. They may look good as part of a necklace. We're really going in on this necklace plan. You successfully craft the beads and bronze wire into a necklace, which you name Beads of the Dead. We're being very fancy here. Let's wear those. It's going to be helpful. Locating crystal. Trufitis. That is incredible, Buana. Is it? It is? Absolutely. This will help you locate the entrance to Rashilia's tomb. Simply activate it when you think you are near, and it should glow different colors to show you how near you are. Fantastic. And there's notes. Tons of notes. These notes are quite extraordinary, Buana. They give location details of Rashilia's tomb, and some information on how to use the crystal. The information is quite specific. north of Azarun. That's a great place to start looking. Indeed. So we've got what we need to not be annihilated by Rashilia, and the location of her tomb. We are going into a lot of tombs here. Even if Azarun probably wasn't technically supposed to be a tomb for all that, still. That's how it ended up, I suppose. We can cross the river here and head north instead of south. Should be able to get right where we need to be. Cross here. Ignore the jokers. Ow. Only hit a 7. That's really not a lot. Let's find a hill. This technically counts as a hill, I suppose. Taller than the rest of the area here. Search the foliage. Search the thick ground foliage and reveal an ancient door. Examining the door, you see that it has a very strange lock. You're shocked to find that it seems to be made out of bone. So we can use our bone shard. Try to use the bone shard on the lock. Although it is about the right size, finally it just doesn't fit the delicate lock mechanism. So we're going to make our own key. Remembering Zamus's words and the strange bone lock, start to craft the bone. You successfully make a key out of the bone shard. Use the key. Turn back into foliage. Use the key again. Shimmering light dances over the doors. Before you can blink, the doors creak open. The doors close behind you with the sound of crunching bone. Before you stretches a winding tunnel blocked by an ancient gate. Alright. Winding tunnels indeed. Beads of the dead start to glow. That allowed us to get in here. We search the gate here. An ancient symbol on the gate. Looks like a human figure with something around its neck. Looks pretty scary. A warning to those who may venture into here. Pick our way down the rocks here. And to clamber down. And now we're here in a tomb. And here's some free coins. But no, not free coins. Instead, many skeletons attack. As soon as you touch the coins, you hear a grinding sound of bones against stone. You see skeletons and zombies rising up out of the ground. The coins turn to dust in your hands. My goodness. What a situation. What a situation right now. Let me just fight some stuff. That one was in one hit. My goodness. And pick up some bones. I guess that zombie didn't drop bones. That's unfortunate. Find a skeleton. He'll drop bones. I guess the zombie turned into horrible poisonous mist. Not the last time that's gonna happen. Anyways. We need bones for this bone door. Search the tomb door here. Door is ornately carved with depictions of skeletal warriors. You notice that some of the skeletal warriors' depictions are not completed. Instead, there are recesses where some of the bones should be. There are 3 recesses. So, put the bones in it. Place the bones in the skeleton door, and it fits. 2 left. Another one. 1 to go. And the last one. All the recesses are filled. Door seems to change slightly. 2 depictions of skeletal warriors turn their heads towards you. They are alive. Skeletons wrench themselves free of the door. Stepping out of the door with grinning teeth, they push the huge doors open. My goodness. And I guess we aren't going to worry about those 2 lobsters. Look at the dolmen here. Dolmen. Touch the dolmen, the ground starts to shake. Hear an unearthly voice booming. Step away from the dolmen in anticipation. Dun dun dun. Who dares disturb Rashilia's rest? I am Nazrastul, prepared to die. Nazastarul. He is level 53. The zombie guy here. Chillin'. We're gonna hit him with our sword until he dies. Again. Because he's a zombie. You defeat Nazastarul, and the corpse falls to the ground. The bones start to move again, and soon they reform into a grisly giant skeleton. Quake in fear, for I am reborn. Your death will be swift. Uh-huh. So now he's a big skeleton. That's fun. He's a zombie. He's a skeleton. Got a multi-stage quest boss fight here. Wild stuff. You defeat Nazastarul and the skeleton falls to the ground. An ethereal form starts taking shape above the bones, and you soon face the vengeful ghost of Nazastarul. Nazastarul returns with a vengeance. Soon you will serve Rashilia. Dun dun dun. Each form slightly stronger than the previous, if only in the amount of health they have. So, nothing super concerning, obviously. Eventually there will be quest fights that are actually dangerous. This is not one of them. You hear a disembodied voice fading away into the distance. May you perish in the fires of Zamorak's furnace. Rashilia's curse is upon you. You see something appear on the dolmen. Alright. Rashilia's corpse. Take the mummified remains of a human female. You feel certain these are Rashilia's remains. You carefully place the remains in your inventory. Yep, that's just what we do. We take corpses, do stuff. Always a good time. Our lobsters despawned here, but it's not important. Mostly, we just dropped all the lobsters to make space for everything else, which is pretty funny. Carefully pick your way through the rocks. Manage to carefully clamber up. 50 agility, really doing the work here. The doors are locked. I'm gonna be stuck in here forever. How will I ever get out? I'm too young to die. Use the key. You unlock the key, the doors creak open. You walk outside into the warmth of the jungle heat. The locked door is locked. I immediately panic. I was like, oh yeah, I have a key. It's also slightly more concerning before home teleport existed, or any teleports in general. Trying to get yourself stuck places. Definitely a situation. We've got options. And also we bring teleports with us. Because that's just a good idea. Quite a bit safer than not doing that. So anyways, Rashilia's corpse. Put our strength amulet back on. Fantastic. Let us show this to Trufitus. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Could you have a look at this? This is truly incredible, Buana. So these are the remains of the Dread Queen Rashilia. Yes, I think so. The zombie skeleton ghost screaming about it leads us to believe such things. Could you take them off my hands? I dare not take them. I may be taken over by the evil spirit of Rashilia. What should I do with them then? I'm not exactly sure. Perhaps there's a clue in one of the artifacts you have found. Thanks. You're more than welcome, Buana. Good luck with the rest of your quest. What we need to do is follow the information about Vervirius and his tomb near the water being the only thing that can stop problems. And the problem of Rashilia is definitely one of them. So we're heading over to the island again. Head down in there. See if we can get away with not getting poisoned the entire time here. Fantastic. Doing fine. Doing just fine. Doing great. Never better. Climb up again. We got more opportunities to fall off this bridge. That's always a good time. I'm just gonna sprint across it with reckless abandon. All works out. Go back into the rocks here. Crawl down into the passage like a worm. And I'm back in here again. Fantastic. Use Rochelia's corpse with the Tomb Dolmen. Carefully place Rochelia's remains on the dolmen. You feel a strange vibration in the air. There she is. You have my gratitude for releasing my spirit. I have suffered a vengeful and evil existence. I was tricked by Zamorak. He returned my son to me as an undead creature. My hatred and bitterness corrupted me, tried to destroy all life. Now I'm released, and I'm grateful to contemplate eternal rest. And that is quest complete. Amazing. Amazing. Got a bit of crafting XP here. Our crafting is a bit higher than the suggested there, so would have gotten 6,875 experience instead of 3,875, but that's okay. I also get 2 quest points, access to Shiloh Village, and everything that has to offer us. So we're going to go check that out. Continue. Alright. Now we're going to go to Shiloh Village. But first we need to get back out of this tomb, obviously. Climb up the rocks. Fall. Ow. Try again. There we go. Climb back out again. Amazing. See if we fall off the bridge for the last attempt here. And we make it. Brilliant. Yeah, 50 agility. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. Climb down the rocks. Fantastic. And back to Shiloh Village. Or, I guess, to Shiloh Village for the first time here. Actually able to go inside this time, so that's nice. We will see if Mosarai can help us out here. Mosarai, hello. Problem solved. There's still some zombies here. Greetings. Greetings, Buana. We've removed the threat of Rochelia, and though there are still some random outbreaks of undead activity, we are more than able to deal with it. You're welcome to enter the village now, Buana. Shall I show you the way? Yes. Okay. I'll go into the village. Also leads you into the village. And here you go. Leads us by the gate, walks back out into the jungle. And here we are. Shiloh Village. Amazing. I got a variety of interesting things here. Always a fun time. First up, we got a fishing shop. They've got regular fishing rod, fly fishing rod, bait, feathers, and the fish that we can find here, trout, pike, and salmon. So, that is the fishing that is available here. Unfortunately, all these tropical trees aren't choppable, so it's not a fantastic spot for us to try to do any fishing. If you can use banks, it's not a bad shout, since there's a bank right over here. Upstairs, we have Saraval. Hello. Hello, Buana. Are you interested in buying a ticket for the Lady of the Waves? Tell me more about the ship. It's a ship that can take you to either Port Sarim or Port Khazard. The ship lies west of Shiloh Village and south of Cairn Island. The ticket costs 25 gold pieces. Would you like to purchase a ticket? No, not really. A one-way trip to Port Sarim or Port Khazard. Not the most helpful. Fair enough, Buana. Let me know if you change your mind. Yep. If we really... I guess if we really wanted to go over there, we could, but as it currently stands, not the most helpful. Next up, we've got a furnace building. And Jonas here. Hello. Hello. Feel free to use the blacksmith's furnace. Which is a wild departure from how it used to be. Originally, you needed to pay 20 GP every time you wanted to go inside here. Which made it, even though it is very close to a bank, very awkward to deal with. But now it's actually decent. If you're just looking for a furnace, I guess. And another thing that has had the prices changed is the cart system. Talk to Vigroy here. I'm offering a cart ride to Brimhaven if you're interested. It'll cost 10 gold coins. Originally, this was 300. And then it was changed to a calculation of 5% of your held money, but capped at 200. And now it's 10. So, yes, I'd like to go to Brimhaven. Hop into the cart, and the driver urges the horses on. We rely over here. And that is also a reference. Originally it said they urge the horses on, but there's famously no horses in the game. So later, to horses and the horses, guys named the horses. Who are you? His name is Tauruses. He pulls the cart. That's a silly name. Anyways, does he pay you well? Nay. Very funny. And we can go back over here, return to Shiloh Village. Feel tired from our journey, but at least we didn't have to walk. So that's nice. So that is a very convenient way to get from Brimhaven down here to Shiloh Village. And we can easily get to Brimhaven from Ardoyne. And we can easily get to Ardoyne by teleporting there. So, if we want to come to Shiloh, it is very, very doable. Next up, we got Obley. Welcome to Obley's General Store, Buona. Would you like to see my items? Yeah. Yes, please. He's got a bunch of stuff. Very similar to Jiminua's store up near Tabawana Village. Pretty much the same stuff in here. Also, doesn't have a bronze bar anymore. Might have lost that with the mining smithing rework or any time before. There's definitely been some shop changes over the years, but nothing super crazy in here. Eventually, a good spot to get Vial of Water packs, which could be nice once those actually exist. Noted items. I will take any I can get. Thank you very much. And then across the river, where we've got the trout, salmon, and pike fishing spots, up into the northern side of the village, where we have Yenny Selika. He has an antiques business. I buy antiques and other interesting items. If you have any interesting items that you might want to sell me, please let me see them and I'll offer you a fair price. I can have to look at your items and give you a quote. Yes, please. Great, Buona. I'll give you 100 gold for the bone key, 100 gold for the stone plaque, 100 for the tattered scroll, 100 for the crumpled scroll, 500 for the locating crystal, 1,000 for the beads of the dead, and those are what he's interested in. Want to sell them? Just show me them. Alright. Well, we don't need them, so selling it to an antique business is better than just chucking it on the floor, I guess. 100 coins for that. 100 coins for that. 100 coins for that. 500 for that. 100 for that. 1,000 for this impressive necklace. Is it really an antique if we just made it today? It's made out of antique sword hilt, I guess. That's fine. And 100 for the bone key. There you go. So we got a whopping 2,000 extra coins. pays for the supplies we need to purchase, I suppose. And then we've got the gem mine, which is an interesting situation here. In RuneScape Classic, the gem mine here is the only place you can really get opals, jades, red topazes. But these precious gem rocks don't give those at all. So we can't get them here. Eventually, there will be a slightly more annoying way of getting the semi-precious gems. So we might just end up doing that for the handful of those we need. Or we could just go to any other gem rock, or the common gem rocks instead of precious gem rocks. Get them from there. But they don't really do much quite yet, so not too worried about it. These are also a way to get diamonds, though. We might, if we really need diamonds, rubies, emeralds in the future, it's an idea. We will worry about that if/when we need to worry about that. For right now, we don't really have any use for additional gems. And lastly, we've got an inn here with Caleb Paramaya. Slightly more useful when you needed to sleep in beds to restore your energy here. Just need to pay him for a night's rest upstairs. Hello, Bono. What can I do for you today? Tell me about this place. You look like a traveler. Yes, I am, actually. Well, I'm a traveler myself, and I've set up this hostel for adventurers and travelers who are weary from their journey. There's a dormitory upstairs if you are tired. It costs 35 gold pieces, which covers the cost of laundry and cleaning. Yeah, he's totally doing our laundry. Nobody ever does laundry. Yeah, actually there is someone that does laundry. Not here, though. So, more helpful when you actually needed a bed over here in Shiloh Village. Less useful now, unfortunately. And then later, there's going to be a few more things here in Shiloh Village. But those are the ones that actually exist for us. So, that's good. And then there's the boat out to the west, but not going to worry about that right now. Not going to worry about that. Instead, we're going to continue on next time. Goodbye.